So topic for today is decision fatigue in the leadership, how every choice shapes how we lead. Think about, reflect on last 1 week. How much time did you spend on thinking versus doing? 50-50%? So it seems we spend considerable lot time in thinking and making decisions in our day-to-day work life and even personal life also. So how those decisions lead to fatigue? That's what we would be covering in today's webinars. So in today's next few minutes, we would be covering what fuels decision fatigue, why do we get into decision fatigue, how it impacts the leadership, and we would end up by giving you a simple tool to audit your own decision-making systems. So let's start. So as we got the response from the participants in this webinar, uh, it resonates with a survey done by McKinsey that executives spend 40% of their time on decision making. And even after spending that much time on decision making, 6 out of 10 executives think that the time has been wasted what they spent on decision making. Now that's a considerable time, and that feeling of getting it wasted, let's get more into it. So let me ask you all one question. Has the availability of data, has that reduced the overhead of taking decisions, or has it actually increased? And we are kind of getting mixed responses here. So while some feel that with the more data, there's lot much soft decision making and it is even complicated, while the other thing, the data has made decision making easier. So let's see what the research says. So same research moving forward, 3 in 4 executives say number of daily decision has increased tenfold in last 3 years. Secondly, nearly 9 in 10 share that more data has made decision making significantly more complicated. Now, this could be very contextual also. What kind of data decisions we are making, it will depend. So now let's get a little more into the decisions or the thinking part of it. So let's go back, rely on Daniel Kahneman's fast and slow thinking, the system 1 and system 2. System 1 is system which help us think fast, intuitive, make decisions like an autopilot. System 2 is a slower system which we typically use for decisions where we need more reflection, which are more complicated. Now, system 1, which is the fast, it's like autopilot. It takes decision based on our past experience and can also have biases in it. Whereas the system 2, which is slower, take consideration of what's going on, what's the context, and then take time to take a decision. Now let me ask you another question. What do you think? Which one, system 1 which is fast or system 2 which is slow, which one do we rely most of the time on? You're right. System 1, which is a fast system, which is an intuitive system, we take most of the decision taking that system 1. However, there are some decisions which need more thinking, which might need more collaboration, which might need more deliberation. So then the system 2 comes into picture. Now let's imagine a day when you had a lot of decisions which need your system 2 to be used. Again, to remind, system 2 is the slow system. What will happen? Yes, you're right. If we are using, on the days when we are using a lot of system 2, which is slower, which need more time to analyze the data, to come out with the decision, we get drained. And when we get drained, we fall upon system 1 to take more and more decision, because again, when we are using system 1, we are using less energy. While we are using system 2, we are using much more energy. So when we get drained by taking system 2 a lot, we fall back on system 1 even for decisions which need system 2. And that's where it gets interesting. So let's move forward. So now decisions type, we talk about the simple and the complicated, but the complication decisions could be, they could have multiple aspects of them. Now we could be thinking about alternatives. We could be thinking about, so let's take example of buying a car. Now buying a car has many aspects, which model, which color, and it's not only single person decision, it's most likely it's a family decision which car to buy. So the collaboration come into picture, the negotiations come into picture, and getting to a final decision, all this. Now buying a car is not a small decision. What's the cost of ownership? Do you have a service center nearby? All that complication come into picture, and the risk is also high of buying a car which does not meet someone's requirement. Now, interpersonal issues we have already discussed, complexity of buying a car, cost of ownership, to go for an EV or to go for a standard fuel. There are a lot of things which needs to be considered, and that is where the system 2 is coming into picture. Now, why do we need to worry about system 2 being in use a lot? What is the impact on leadership? Let's discuss there. So if we are under fatigue, now fatigue comes from using a lot of system 2, right? Where we have to actually take a pause, look at the complexity, collaborate with the different people, uh, consider everything, look at the high risk. There could be a, a, a thinking that, will this decision be right or not? And all that complexity coming in, that's causing the fatigue. And now if this fatigue's carry on, if we are continuously or most of the time on system 2, what will happen? Firstly, we'll start feeling exhausted. We'll start feeling tired. We will not have energy, and that will lead to losing our edge, right? And it's not limited only to the individual, to the leader. It will start impacting the organization also. Second is the disconnection. So sometimes when the decisions, I'm taking a lot of decisions, and let's say uh, most of these decisions have a long-term impact, long-term outcome, and I continue to live under the uncertainty, I could start getting disconnected with the surroundings, uh, because I'm so much under pressure of taking decision related to the uncertainty. What will this lead to? This can lead to me getting disconnected with the people, my team. This can lead to my empathy getting thin. This can lead to my team getting disengaged. So again, we can see how it goes from fatigue for an individual to impact on the organization. Moving to the last one, which is reduced effectiveness. Again, as we saw earlier from the McKinsey survey, 6 out of 10 executives feel they are wasting 40% of the time which is being used in making decisions. Now, if you think such a big time is being wasted making decision, I would feel that my effectiveness has reduced. So what will that lead to? Uh, I'll slow down in my work, my results will dip, and the impact to the organization would be missed opportunities. So now what could we do about it? So firstly, the first thing to do about it is uh, become aware of what kind of decisions are taking my energy down. So we have a quick tool for this, what we call as decision audit. As you can see a picture, the 4 quadrants, one axis is the decision easy or difficult. So easy is when I'm using my system 1, which is fast. Difficult is when I'm using my system 2. So it's a complex, it has interpersonal issues, it has got uncertainty, all that components are there, which require my system 2 to be used. And the y-axis has operational and strategic. Now operational are the decision which have short-term impact, Strategic are the one which have got the long-term impact. Now, operational may not necessarily be easy, right? They could be difficult also. And strategic could also be on the spectrum of easy to difficult. So what we will do now, a recall of a day, a recent day, maybe this week itself or the last week at max, when you had to take a lot of decisions. And you can take a hold of a pen and a paper, a notebook. Take 30 seconds, write down all the decisions which you took on that day when you had a lot of decisions to make. Okay. Now, split those decisions into, draw a line in between on, or you can draw a horizontal line. The decision which you consider operational, again, operational strategy could be different for each of us. Operationals are the shorter impact, like, and the strategic are the one with the long-term impact. So below the line, mention, so out of all the decisions which you have thought of, below the line, mention all the operational decisions, and above the line, as it's seen here in this diagram, above the line, put all the strategic decisions which you took that day. I'll give you maybe 30 seconds to do that. Okay, now let's move forward. Think upon which of these decisions were easy for you. Put them on the left hand side quadrant, left bottom. Think which were difficult for you. So put them on the right hand side quadrant, either the bottom one or the top one, right? So firstly, you have split the operational and decision. Now among operational and strategic, among operational and strategic decision, decide which one you felt were easy to take. You were using your system one, they were quick, and which one were difficult for you, where you were using your system two, which was slow. And secondly, there is no right and wrong answer here. So I might be, so operational decision might be easier for me. It could be difficult for some. Strategic could be difficult for me, easier for you. So there is no right and wrong answer. This is to bring awareness that what kind of decisions are actually leading us to use more of system 2, and which are adding to the fatigue we are going through, right? Now, I would be giving you this tool to, in a PDF format after the webinar. I would strongly recommend that for next 1 week, every day at the end of the day, do a reflection and put all the decisions you have taken across these 4 quadrants, and put a little description about decision, what that decision was about, so that you can recollect it. So over the time, this will help you become aware what kind of decisions are causing you to get exhausted, or even so feeling exhausted, or feeling disconnected, or having lesser effectiveness. With that, we come to the end of this webinar, but this is not end of your journey. Continue with the decision audit tool, which I would be sharing after the webinar, and keep joining us for Wednesday webinar with me. And as always, I would be sharing a poll tomorrow to get your opinion for what should be the topic for the next webinar. And you're joining this webinar, you're already part of the Leadership Quest platform. we would be sharing this video and the video from our earlier webinars there, along with some other nuggets. So you can keep coming back to it to get more information. And if you want to get in touch with me for a one-on-one personal coaching, I would be sharing the link for that also. You can reach out to me. So that's it for today. Have a great day. See you next week.